Hello and welcome back to the Nihil channel. I almost said the Shining Force channel, but that's kind of what it is. It has been a little bit. I've worked on the audio a lot, so I'm hoping things sound better after this. And today I am joined by Sean, who has been a viewer for a while as well. How are you doing today, Sean?
Good morning, Nihil channel. I'm doing well, Chris. I say good morning. We're, of course, recording this in the evening, but for us, this normally comes out on Saturday mornings. And I was just saying to Chris, I like to wake up on the weekend and watch some Nihil channel videos on Shining Force. It's great to be here.
Awesome, which I super appreciate. I'm still trying to wrap my head around the fact that they said Lemon is now a vampire guy, and he ran away. I don't really know what to make of that. That was really bizarre.
Well, you seem to know what to make of that. You stopped there. Why did something about that seem to have caught your attention?
Yeah, there's like the little divot, but I don't...
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do I need to use an item here? Do I still have the dry stone? Yeah, is that what I do? Ah...
Look at that. I didn't have to say anything. I didn't say anything before the stream, everyone.
Nope.
Chris got that all on his own.
He didn't. I knew this was the Dwarven Mithril people. I was warned about that. So I was like, the dry stone helped me with them before, maybe it helps again. Okay. What? Oh.
Be ready to spend the next 10 minutes trying to figure out how to get through this place. It is a maze.
Yes. Okay. I'm ready for it, though, and I love this little soundtrack here. Alright, let's start with this. Dwarven Blacksmith is very good. You can place a custom order with him. Okay. Is empty. Is empty, alright. Dark inside the vase, and... Ah, Demon Rod. Why do the dwarves just have that? Okay, neat.
Of course, you'll want to equip that immediately. The Demon Rod will be very powerful with no side effects.
It'll be what?
Very powerful. No side effects at all.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to talk about, too, Neutral brought up that, I was like, oh, I wonder what Eric's looking for. That's a weird little one-off line, because Eric, when you pick him up, says, I'm looking for the legendary sword, and Neutral was like, clearly he's looking for the Chaos Breaker, and I was like, is he? Like, maybe so. I bet that makes me leave, so I don't want to go that way.
I think you're right about that. Most of the directions make you leave the town.
That looks like a blacksmith. Mithril is very hard to find. Go see the blacksmith if you have any. I do. It is dark inside. Would be funny if there was mithril right there. Okay, I'm gonna create a save here because I've heard this is like super random. Let's get into this. Welcome to the Dwarf Craftsman. We can create a great and special weapon for you if you have some special material. What kind of material do you have? All of it's like in the convoy, so I may have to take it out.
Yes, and I do want to say the mithril, I believe who gives the mithril to the blacksmith affects what weapon you get, which means that the characters for who you want to get a weapon need to be holding the mithril and hand it to the blacksmith.
Okay. Alright, let's create space for everybody then. So, alright, here we go. We can create a special weapon for you if you have material. What do you have? Okay. Let's do it. So we'll start with... I don't even know what these look like, so we'll start with Luke. Whose weapon should I make? Okay, he asks. Luke. For Luke, it will cost 5,000 gold. I actually have gold right now, so yes. Oh, does it take a little while?
It does, yes. And unfortunately, I can't tell you the exact amount. I seem to recall you need to leave the village and come back, but not more than a couple of steps.
Okay, well, let's do that then. We'll leave the village and come back. Easiest way out's right here. We'll walk around out here. So, something I always like to ask about when somebody new comes on. What is sort of your experience with the Shining games? Like, how did you get into all this?
I think, like many people, it was a game that I stumbled across as a kid that it left an impression. I remember playing Shining Force on a friend's Sega Genesis console when I was very young. It was his brother's Genesis, and I didn't really understand what was going on. But I think it must have been late in the game because I remember seeing the lights, the Sword of Light, and how
Real
cool
quick,
that looked.
so he made a critical sword, so that's not what I want?
Well, if nothing else, it's what you already have. So if you're going to stick with the critical sword, then we don't need to do this. But no, the critical sword is of the, let me count it out, 7 swords that he can make. The critical sword is the worst.
All right, we're going to reload. So let's reload here. I'll keep this going. You just keep talking. It's fine. People can kind of... This is going to be the Blacksmith podcast for a little bit.
Alrighty. Yeah, I remember the Sword of Light made a real big impression on me as a kid. It was really cool. A sword you can cast a bolt with and just wipe out a whole field of enemies. And I didn't play it again for years. I think the first time I played it was probably the Resurrection of Dark Dragon on the Game Boy. I remember seeing that and thinking, oh, this must be the Shining Force game from when I was a kid. And I didn't get a chance to come back and play the original until a few years later. And actually, I didn't play Shining Force 2 until probably a year ago, when I came across your channel and some of the other channels that were doing Shining Force content, and everybody kept saying, second one's the best, you gotta try it.
Ah, I see. Yeah, and I don't know if I agree with that yet. We'll see how I feel at the end. But I
don't either. The
Battle
first one will always
sword.
have a special place in my heart.
Okay. How good is this? The battle sword.
The battle sword is slightly better. Again, for Luke, we don't have a whole lot to play with. There's one sword that you could get that's slightly better for Luke, but
okay, what is that called?
It's called the counter sword, and it increases his chance of a counter attack, but it only gives a couple more points of attack.
Okay, let's go. Hello and welcome back to the Nihil channel. If the last bit of footage got corrupted, I've never had that happen, but it kind of freaked out on me, so I figured out that puzzle all by myself, and we've been running around the Dwarven village, and I've got a ground axe, and I've got, what was the other thing I got? I got the Gisarm for Slade. And it took a bunch of attempts that I was going to edit out anyway, so that's fine. I don't know how I'm going to cut all this together, but whatever. We'll just continue. And, oh yeah, I'm joined by Sean, who's been a long-time viewer, just in case that got cut out too. He is Captain in the comments section. Captain with a K. Let's go.
Yes. Let's go.
Alright, so I assume we're going here? I have no
clue
what
are.
I'm doing.
And attentive viewers may find something familiar about some of this.
Red Baron is Lemon. He was running around and crying for somebody to kill him. Oh, that's so sad. Let's see. I'm gonna look around here. I have no clue what I'm doing. Oh yeah, we're back to the jail. And then... Can I get through here? No, I can't. Okay. Because I remember there's a secret passage around there somewhere. But I probably don't need it.
No, we're not going to spend much time in Gollum Castle, but yeah, we're back.
Yes.
After all that's happened, all the time, we're back to where we started.
Yeah, which is weird. Like, it's weird that it comes full circle like this. My boyfriend does not return from the war. I hope he's alive. Joy of fantasy. I don't think I actually got to walk around here too much the first time. Because they, like, find us and we're trying to escape and all these things are happening. So, this is... I'm gonna explore a little bit here. Lemon went south. He was acting strange. The priest of Yule liked the piano. The ghost may be him. The what now?
I won't say anything. I'm sure it'll all make sense in the end.
Okay, yeah, there's no priest here. What's up, boy? Let's see, do we have things that are better? No. Alright, that's fine.
No, we've officially reached the point where the best items you can get are right where you used to be.
Art of selling. Okay, yeah, the blacksmith stuff. King Gallum has not returned from the war against Grand Seal. I wonder if they know Grand Seal is gone.
I would hope so. I can't imagine living on an island where the town across the way was swallowed in a gigantic hole and it somehow escaped your notice.
Okay,
but
he knows. From Grand Seal, I didn't know anyone survived that earthquake. So yeah, he knows. But yeah, there's some people that could happen and they would never know. He said he heard the sound of piano playing. Lemon made that hole. He jumped off the top of the castle, but he didn't die. A hole. Fascinating. Okay.
That may not be the last hole that we see.
I was not expecting a suicide plot. Do you know about the statue of the devil? It appeared at the ancient tower. No, I don't know about that. That sounds ominous. Red Baron was looking for something at the ancient tower. Nobody returned from that trip. I didn't go. I was smart. Yes, you were. Smartest guy. I heard a rumor that a handsome boy is leading the devils now. So handsome boy leading the Shining Force too. Get it right. That woman drew me. I know what I look like. Let's see. Okay. Good weapons and armor, huh? I suppose. I think he was looking for the holy sword. Please don't tell anybody that I told you. Ah! So that will kill Lemon, maybe. I want to do a whole, like the religious connotations and aspects of Shining Force. Like, I want to do a whole podcast about that at some point.
It is kind of interesting. We have priests, we have demons, we have devils, but nobody really talks about it a whole lot. Of course, we have gods. We have Metula and Volcanon, and you're right, there's a lot there to unpack.
There is, and kind of how it works into our world. It's buried in the ground, and there's no door. Oh, hello. Welcome, your desire will be fulfilled. I think the only desire I have... I think everybody's alive right now, yeah. Yes, I need to save here so I don't have to walk all that way, because that would be a pain. I definitely don't want to walk from the monk place again.
No, and this island has precious few save points.
Why am I... Wait, what? Why am I guarding the kitchen? Yeah, that is a... I love the humor of Shining Force, like... Oh, hello.
I appreciate the fact that he's guarding the kitchen by standing in the corner and staring at the wall.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't think the king is coming back, so I think that that's probably gonna work out for him just fine. And, like, guarding it from who? Like, we're all... You know, Grand Seal's gone. Like, are there still, like, people that would assault Gallum Castle on the continent? Oh, this is the passage. Right?
You have to remember, just
hello.
a day or two ago, we did see a gigantic bird explode in the sky and crash land somewhere on the island. I'm sure that's got everybody on edge.
Yeah, they haven't really talked about that, have they?
No, I don't think any of the dialogue changes.
Some of the dialogue, well, not from that, but there's definitely different dialogue, because the guy's talking about Grands being gone. Is there stuff in these now? No. I remember there was a lady the first time blocking them. Let's see. Oh yeah, if it got cut out too, because I don't know. I wanted to talk about, oh, I'm getting notifications on my phone. I wanted to talk about the art you did of me, because it looks awesome. I was about to put that up. I'll put it up right after this cutscene, because I have to do my voice changer thing.
Bowie defeated Red Baron too? Is that what you said, Geshp?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
Once again, my minions have failed me. Are my soldiers that weak?
No. No, I'm just doing that good. Yes! Oh, no! I mean, they were strong enough. But Bowie and his force were smarter.
No more excuses. Your prism flowers didn't work right. This is your last chance. Kill Bowie this time, or I'll kill you.
Ah, yes, sir. I'll kill Bowie this time. I stake my life on it.
Bring the Jewel of Evil back to me.
Yes, sir. And he's gone. Do we get another odd eye thing? Yep, we sure do.
Odd Eye, that handsome devil.
You were right, Odd-Eye.
Of course.
I can't trust Geshp anymore. If he fails, you must battle Bowie.
You want me to kill Bowie? He's probably much stronger now. Sounds interesting. I'll do it. If this comes to pass, it will be his final battle. Alright. Well, that was quite the exposition. Respect your pants. Yes, but I'm gonna put up Sean's art he did of me, because I really love it. And, so yeah, so here's that in the corner, and I'm using it as my profile picture on, like, everything. Except YouTube, because I should probably stick to, like, branding. But I should probably improve my little eye at some point, too.
Well, thank you. I'm glad that you like it. And I've always wanted to ask about the eye. What is the significance of it? Does that come from somewhere, or is it your design, something you asked for?
It was my design, because I am not, as I've said on the show a couple times, I'm not an artist. So that was kind of what I was capable of. That was the extent of what I could do at the time. And it was just a little, like, it's my favorite color. I like purple a lot. So it was just sort of this thing that kind of fit the whole aesthetic of, like, kind of this mysterious little neon thing. I use a lot of neon colors too. But yeah, it doesn't have really more meaning than that. Stop, he says. Finally, you've arrived. It was a mistake to underestimate you. But the game is not over. At the risk of my life, you'll proceed no further. Geshp is serious. He finally considers us worthy opponents. Bowie, be careful. We mustn't underrate his power. You're right, Astral. Xeon doesn't trust me, thanks to you. This is my last chance. I can't see him again till I bring him your head. Quick seizure warning on that. Alright, I'm gonna look around real quick. Oh, there's Grand's, or what it was. Is that my house? Is that Bowie's house?
We'll have to check it out.
Let's see. Alright, so what are these? White dragons. I mean, sure, I guess. Oh, this is the same battle we did. This was battle number 2. That's neat, how that comes back around. We got a Cyclops. Dart Gunner. We've got Geshp, who I'm excited to fight. And the way we've been doing it is you can just use the group by approach.
Got it.
Alright, take it away. You can still put them in whatever formation you want, though.
Sounds good. Okay, so back to the icon. So it's a purple eye. What's the significance of the eye? Is it just this is an all-knowing channel, or I hope you don't mind. I think we viewers we want to learn a little bit more.
The opposite. I mean, I came into this obviously not knowing a ton about Shining Force. At least not as a series, because to me, like, this is just my opinion. I don't, like, I only know kind of what I like. That's kind of my guiding star. The kind of content that I like to watch. And for SRPG stuff, that is some of the Fire Emblem people. For a long time, I've watched Mangs, Fairghast, Mecha. Who else? Those have kind of been my main three for SRPG stuff. So a lot of this is inspired by the things that they do. So it's just kind of that, like, oh, right. But where I was going with that was, it's more fun to watch people play games that they don't know. I don't want to watch you play a game that you know like the back of your hand. I didn't think that was that interesting. And if that's what you like, I have no, like, hate for that or anything. It's whatever you like. I just like to watch people be surprised by what's happening. So that's also why, for the first Let's Play, after my channel's kind of rebrand, I did Legacy of the Ancients, because I was like, I don't think people, and you can talk about in the comments if it is what you want, I don't think people want to watch me play Shining Force 1 for, like, the 30th time. And it would be, I mean, 30th is, like, it might be more than that. Because obviously I know everything that's going to happen, and I don't know if I have too much that's insightful to say when nothing is changing. But with Legacy of the Ancients, it was constantly like, I have no clue what's happening, and that to me was very fun. But as far as the eye goes and the branding, it really is just what I was capable of making. Like, I wish that there was some sort of greater meaning to it, because that makes sense. I get why people would want to know that. But the answer really is, like, I just am not capable of doing art very well. And it was easy shapes that I could put together, and when I put it all together and looked at it, I was like, you know what, that kind of looks okay.
I have to say, I think the font really brings everything together. It's interesting, but it's also crisp and clean. It's not papyrus. It's just it's good.
It's not Comic Sans.
That's right. But yeah, that's super interesting. Not what I would have guessed. And of course, the fact that it looked like the laser eye when you were playing Legacy of the Ancients was a nice happy accident.
Yes, that's what I intended. Haha, you caught me. No, I wish I could say I had that much foresight. And this might be where that became the laser eye. I might say, oh, that's what it is from now on, I don't know. Because I like that a lot. But no, I did not have that in mind. But I like that. Like, that's definitely a good idea. Was that your guess?
Oh, I hadn't necessarily given it a whole lot of thought.
Okay, you just said not. You said not what I would have guessed. So I'm like,
well,
what would you have
I don't
guessed?
think I would have. I don't think I would have guessed that the eye was trying to be symbolic of you want your channel to be eye-opening. That's very nice. It's elegant, but I don't know. Most people, they put an eye like that. As I look at it, I see there's a triangle in the middle, and it's just. It feels mysterious, and I don't know, maybe Illuminati or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'd give it a whole lot of thought.
That's kind of what I was going for too. I like conspiracy theories a lot. I like that kind of stuff. And it's not that I believe in all of them, but it's really fun to me to learn about those. It's why I've talked about, like, I haven't written to it in a long time. Because I've been busy with this channel, but I'd like to at some point get back to my Substack and do a little bit more like brainy writing, because I love to write. And something that I wanted to do was just talk to kind of conspiracy people, because I find it interesting. And one I talked about during Legacy of the Ancients was like, I'd love to talk to like a flat earther and just be like, how did you I'm not a flat earther. I know that might be shocking for some of you. But it's interesting to me, and I'd love to talk to somebody, and I'm really curious about how people get into that kind of thing, and like what what did you see that you were like, that's it? It's just really interesting. I like to learn about people like that.
I think this is going to be a very short battle. I could be wrong, but I'm probably going to start moving up a few more units here because 12 on 4, this is going real fast.
Yeah. There's not a whole lot of units comparatively, and this battlefield is really small.
It is. It's interesting. Before we got on, I was doing a little bit of reading up on the battles that we were doing, and it did strike me this particular battle is a whole lot fewer units than it seems like we've had in the past. Like especially, we're recording this the day that you published the video on the prison flowers, and especially with all of the flowers included, there were, gosh, probably more people, more units than the Force had, and here it's the opposite.
Yeah. Oh, the white dragon looks cool.
It is interesting. There are certain things in the first Shining Force game that look a lot better, but there are definitely, and the dragon I think is one of them, there are those where it just looks really, really cool in this game, and you can tell they put a lot of time and effort into making it.
Yeah, for sure. And then there's some, like the ooze, that I'm like, you just needed something quick for an early game enemy.
I'm gonna see if I can get one kill.
Alright. That might be it, yeah.
Can't make it too easy.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Try to fight the dragon a little bit. But yeah, I'd love to hear from, like, kind of what questions that viewers have and stuff. Is there anything else that you're just really burning to know about?
Oh, I have a list. I brought a whole list of stuff with me. Because, it's always interesting to flip the script a little bit. I don't think I'm all that interesting. So you can ask me questions, but I'm sure that nobody else wants to hear my answers. I'd love to hear, you've been doing this now for, we're almost done. What's been your favorite battle so far?
Ooh, that's pretty tough. The Red Baron fight was really good.
Of course, the one battle we haven't seen yet.
Yes. Well, you haven't seen. By the time this comes out, we will have seen it.
It's true. What was special about the Red Baron fight?
How close that was. I was just sitting here sweating. Like, it was really close. So that was fun. Thematically... Oh, go ahead, sorry.
No, you've leveled up quite a bit. Were you not leveled for that fight? Is that part of why it was so close?
I didn't grind for it now. So, and I didn't do too much grinding for this either. Because it's been weird to do that, and part of it's been the human-controlled stuff. That's made a really big difference, but like Shining Force 1, I don't grind at all. So it's weird to like suddenly do that. And like have that be a thing. Oh, I'm sitting here like being cautious because I'm thinking Claude is an enemy. I am not used to that. I'm not exactly sure what my absolute favorite battle of Shining Force 2 has been. That's something after it's all done I'm gonna have to sit back and look at. Because I know from like Woodhouse, who you said you wanted to shout out some more too, he did a tier list video for like characters and stuff. And man, years later, he's still managing the comments on it. So I probably will do some tier lists and some ranking things. I probably am not going to... Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I'm sure if I do this, do I put Geshp in a position that he's going to regret? But I think at this point, we're down to 12 versus 4. We've got to just make aggressive plays.
Oh, he looks interesting. That's not what I thought he would look like close up. But yeah, I might do some tier lists that are definitely more subjective. Like, this character is fun to use, this character is not fun to use. Things like that.
Those are the best kinds of tier lists because they make people the most angry. Because if you don't like a character that other people like and you rank them low because you don't like them, oh man.
Yeah, that's fun to me. And I don't care. I don't care if people like don't like it or whatever. Like, I'm not real sensitive about, especially the YouTube thing. It's like, it's such like a, I don't know, it's like a weirdly intimate thing, you know? Like, who you watch on YouTube and who you like, who you don't. It's, I don't know, everybody has their, like, super opinionated statements, and, oh yeah, that's probably smart. Ah, going for optimal plays. Fully optimal plays.
Got to do something. But you said plug other contributors, and to be clear, I don't necessarily want to plug other contributors. I did want to suggest for anybody who's watching that's not familiar with the rest of the community around Shining Force, there are a lot of great content creators out there, and they're not just great content creators, they're great people.
Yes.
So Chris and I have actually gotten to know each other outside of just this channel through those communities, and you know, there are people within the community that I would say are my friends, and I think they would say the same. And that's pretty special for a game that's 30 years old. So if you haven't looked into some of those communities, mostly it's Discord. There is, of course, Shining Force Central, but I'd encourage all of you to check it out. There's a lot of really great people that really love this game, and you know, of course, we don't always just talk about Shining Force. Maybe mostly. But yeah, I can't recommend it. It's a really, really great way to get connected to people.
Yes, it definitely is. And I will check with Woodhouse because I feel weird about it. I can link his Discord. I don't know if he'd like that.
If not, then they'll just have to find his page on YouTube where he's linking it himself, and you know, we can get him some subscribers and more viewers.
We'll do that. I'll link his channel, and you can go find it yourself. That I feel good about. But some of the other ones, oh my gosh, he's terrifying looking. Yeah, there's tons of Shining Force Discords that you should come hang out in, because it's just full of people that love Shining Force stuff, and yeah. But nobody's afraid to talk about other stuff too. We definitely talk other games.
I will say the Shining Force Central Discord can be a little bit intimidating. There are people on that channel that can read Japanese and can tell you what the original translation says. I can't keep up with anybody like that, but it's certainly interesting. I've learned a lot.
Oh yeah. The most fun is when they're arguing about what it says. Because I can just sit and nod and go, oh, that sounds good. And then somebody goes, it doesn't say that, it says this. And I go, oh, that sounds good. I don't speak any Japanese, very little, so I can read almost none. So my contributions in that department are very limited. Hey, we can do Raijin twice now. That's neat. We have just enough MP for that.
And of course, by doing this, I don't have to risk getting instant killed by Slade's new sword, so I don't mind that at all.
Geshp is like, this whole battle is so interesting. I'm just still like, so they have like Cyclops that they just have now. It's so weird to me, the places that Shining Force goes. And there's just never any comment. It's like, yeah, of course there's Cyclops, why wouldn't there be? But it's like, that's a whole new race that you've just added.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that. I think it was on one of your most recent videos that you said that seeing a character like Slade would only happen in a game like Shining Force. And in a lot of ways, I think it's almost, Shining Force 2 gets even more out there than Shining Force 1. There are the Birdmen in the first game, but otherwise it's mostly pretty regular characters. And then suddenly in this game you drop in...
I don't know about that, because we got Yogurt, we have Gunts. There's definitely some
point.
that I'm like, very weird.
It's very true. So let's talk about Shining Force 2 versus Shining Force 1. Before we started the stream, you had mentioned that this is probably not your favorite, which I think is an unpopular opinion. Most people seem to be of the opinion that Shining Force 2 is the better game. And I have my thoughts as well. I'd say I probably agree with you, but you know, I'd love to hear, you know, what has been the thing that you've liked the most about this game versus Shining Force 1? What's been the most pleasant surprise, or, you know?
The most pleasant surprise is definitely just that, whenever you're doing a sequel to anything, it can be just difficult, because there's a very fine line between, you need to be respectful, but you need to innovate. And that's hard. It can be really hard to get that balance right. Because, like, you don't want to say, well, we don't want to do the same thing, so let's just change everything. You know, people liked this, what if we, like, didn't do anything they liked anymore? And I know some people will say, well, that's kind of how the Shining series went. But, I'm happy that going from 1 to 2... Always so weird to me when those things dodge. Just looks jank.
Deceptively fast.
But yeah, just going from 1 to 2, say, like, I can look at this and say, yes, I can tell this is in the same vein, and it's not too far removed from what was going on before. And so I really appreciate that. It feels similar. And it's Shining Force is one that's really hard to nail that feel. Cause like, how would I explain what the feel of Shining Force is to me? The feel is kind of like, and part of this is probably heavy nostalgia, also that one. The idea of, like, sitting down and listening to, or watching a movie that you have no idea what it is as a kid, and it ends up being really good. That's kind of what it is. Like, you don't have a lot of, like, I don't know. It's definitely nostalgia, and I'm like, I know I'm sounding not very eloquent.
No, I understand. There's games that you play when you're young. Were you very young when you played the first Shining Force game?
Oh, yeah. I was, like, learning to read.
Yeah.
I've talked about a couple times, like, I left Silo in his prison because I didn't really read everything, and I didn't really comprehend that I was supposed to go help Silo, so I just left him there and went on my merry way.
Yeah, it can be hard to articulate with those kinds of games, just what it is about them that's so important.
But this captures that, too, that idea of, like, anything can happen. And I think that's because, like, we do stuff like Desktop Kingdom. And it's weird that I like that to me a little bit, too, because I'm really a stickler for, like, canon and things. And sticking to your own rules. But then we do stuff like Desktop Kingdom, and I'm like, oh yeah, of course. But I think Shining Force just really has that, like... I mean, it started with, like, Yogurt, I think, when you first see him. That's like, okay, we're just doing things. Like, anything can happen.
It does feel like a game that is a unique blend. We'll talk after this. This is important.
Okay. My traps! I'm at the end of my rope. I must escape. Oh, he's gonna try to escape again? Just join us. That seems to work out well for everybody else. Oh my gosh, Bowie just punched him in the face.
Shining Force 2 is the master of physical comedy. Think about when they threw Bowie across the room.
Oh, that's awesome. No! Please let me go. We don't want to kill you. You've lost your powers. Why? I know. Oh, you're gonna cry now? What? That's what we're doing. You may go. Thank you. Is he gonna just run and jump into this cliff like Camila jumped off that bridge? Xeon's not gonna let that go. I won't forget this.
Right on cue.
Where are you going, Geshp? Do you remember your vow? You failed to get the jewel from Bowie. Now you will pay with your life. No, please, no! Oh my gosh! Zeon is such an unfeeling devil. Shiver. I mean, that's kind of what devil means. He will do the same to us if we lose to him. We must not be defeated. I mean, wow. That was, like, brutal.
So ends poor pitiable Geshp.
Yeah, I don't know if I pity Geshp. He was a thorn in our side for a very long time, and that's who he threw his lot in with. Like, I don't know.
It's one thing I do appreciate about this game compared to the first game. Kain is a great antagonist, Dark Souls is a great antagonist, but neither of them quite mess with you the same way that Camila and Geshp do, you know? Where you're right, you're so ready for him to just be gone.
Yeah, I would say him more than anybody else. I'm not sure I liked Geshp fully as a... I can walk back and we'll talk a bit more, because I have no idea how I'm editing that that blacksmith segment, but I think this will be a shorter one. But yeah, I'm not sure I liked Geshp as a villain fully. Because he just, like... Part of what gives some of these characters their impact, I think, is that they... I don't know if I'm going the right way. No, I'm not. I don't remember how to get back to the priest. I guess I can just egress. But part of what gives some of these bosses their... I can't do it while I'm in a thing. What gives some of these bosses their punch is that you see them and then it's over. And, like, I think about Elliot. You know, you meet Elliot, you fight Elliot, it's over. Same with Bulbazak. Camila is a little bit the same way. I like that they tease her earlier. And then she becomes a thing a lot later.
So what about Zalbard? Zalbard was the third of Zeon's minions who gets no introduction before the battle. Is that the better way to do it?
No, I like when there's a little something. Like, I like seeing Camila leap off the bridge. But I fought Geshp so many times for him to go, hee hee, I'm leaving. I'm just kind of like, let me guess. Like, it started at, when he showed up, it was like, let me guess. You're gonna leave. So, he's a little bit too recurring, I think. So yeah, I'm not a huge, I would say I'm not a huge Geshp fan.
Alright, I guess we feel differently. I kind of like the cackling minion that keeps coming back, if only because it's just that much more satisfying when he finally goes down.
Yeah, it's definitely satisfying. Like, I feel that. I feel like a weight has been lifted. I finally progressed in the game because Geshp is dead. But I realized that that's sort of born out of frustration, that it's like, I fought Geshp a lot of times.
Just imagine if you'd had to fight the prison flowers, how much more you would hate him.
True. And, like, he's kind of the worm tongue of this game, I think, like, to use a Tolkien kind of thing. That's kind of what how I feel about him. But
I can see that, yes.
When I say that, too, whenever I'm like, oh, I don't really care for this Shining Force character, I still care for them more than, like, most other video game characters. Like, so it's always sort of on a different scale, because I love this series so much, so I would always take that into consideration when I'm talking about something. When I say I don't love Geshp, it's I don't love him as much as everyone else. It's not that he's bad. But with that, I think we'll end that episode there. Do you have anything else that you want to shout out before we end this one?
No, I sort of cut my shout out halfway through. Would love to see viewers in the community here in the future. Like I say, I can't say enough good things about getting to talk with people about this. YouTube comment sections are great, but you know, there's something a little bit different about a real conversation.
Yeah, I would agree. And you can find me on all the Discords for Shining stuff. I think I'm in all of them. I try. So just try and find me there. And I will probably link... I'll find one or two to link in the description, like the Shining Force Central Discord. I'm pretty comfortable linking that one because it's a very public one. So I'll link that, and I would love to talk with you guys, and you can find tons of other Shining Force people to talk to. So, without further ado, I think that's it. Sean and I will see you next time.
Time don't feel so linear, with heartbreak so familiar. We all know what's insane, so why not break the chain? Break the chain, break the chain, break the chain. So